You ever wonder who was putting the information around before the computer age? Who let you know about the Pleiadians, the Nordic blondes, the humanoids, Alpha Draconius? I could tell you a few to start with, and they started way before I was born. William Cooper, a radio broadcaster / Arthur, who was deemed a conspiracy theorist after releasing one of the most controversial books in our time, Behold a Pale Horse. This book described the plans that our government has for us, and William, being a broadcaster himself, was determined to get the information out. Information that you-know-who didn't want to get out, and like everybody knows, you don't go poking a bear. In the end, 2 officers tried to arrest him while serving the warrant for his arrest. A shootout conspired, ending William's life.
In 1969, a confrontation broke out between the human scientists and the aliens at the Dulce Underground Lab. The aliens took many of our scientists hostage. Delta forces were sent in to free them, but were no match against the alien weapons. 66 of our people were killed during this action. As a result, we withdrew from all joint projects for at least 2 years. A reconciliation eventually took place, and once again we began to interact. As far as I know, today we are interacting with the aliens.
Phil Schneider, a whistleblower known for his involvement in the deep underground military bases, otherwise known as DUNS. He speaks about his involvement in working alongside the extraterrestrial Greys, and how one night deep underground, him and other members of Delta Force had a conflict where they engaged the Greys, exchanging fire, resulting in him losing a finger or 2 and half his arm. Later on, Phil Schneider would be found with evidence of a rubber noose tied around his neck, ending his life.
I have a picture of one of the aliens been working for the United States Pentagon for the last 58 years. His name is Valiant Thor.
Funny how they try to hide the truth from us when it's right here in our faces, broadcasting every day, and they expect us not to believe.
There are certain people who come to Earth at certain times of great crisis, to try to help to sort things out. And they are just the Godhead in a physical body. This great transformation of Earth that's already is already underway by the whole of creation. Because if this planet is destroyed, the whole of creation is thrown into chaos.
David Icke, the former football broadcaster, conspiracy theorist, and author of over 20 books, has unveiled many prophetic revelations about Earth and tidal waves and earthquakes ravaging the planet. Even some crazy as him being the Son of God himself. Carrie Cassidy.
There are large tunnels underneath the water all around Antarctica.
Angels only do good, and that's not true. Angel, I forget the root word, but it is not to do with only doing good. There are negative and positive angelic beings, as they're called.
Carrie Cassidy, known for her work in shadow operations and being the CEO and founder of Project Camelot, where they interviewed many alien abductees. Emmy Award-winning investigative journalist Linda Moulton Howe.
I think that the greatest problem that scares me the most is artificial intelligence. And he said statements like, people don't understand that the robots, they are not going to need sleep. They're not going to need sick days. They're going to be able to do everything better, faster, more efficiently, and smarter than humans.
At least some of them were full-blooded extraterrestrials based on this planet, and not just the surface deserts, but inside mountains, bases inside, that the length of existence or coexistence of other beings on this planet goes back a very long way. This current
Linda, a previous news anchor and now investigative journalist, is known for her work on Earth Files and Coast to Coast AM, where she investigated cattle mutilations in the Four Corners area. She continues to be the go-to person for whistleblowers, that reside in places that we didn't even know existed. Art Bell, American broadcaster and author, and known for being the host and co-founder of Coast to Coast AM, a show that can bring a cavalcade conversation that will blow your mind. I'm surprised it's not the most famous show out.
What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped